Hello guys, welcome back. Though untimely, I am sure this review comes as no surprise given the context. Yes, it is in the backdrop of Vikram that this 2019 Tamil release becomes relevant. I had watched this movie a long back, but I watched it again so that I can better relate to Vikram. So here is my analysis of Kaithi, which has a kind of cult following ever since its release in 2019. When the movie was released in 2019, it came with no expectations. Karthi, with a series of poor choices, gave nothing for the audience to look forward to. But man, what a way to come back! And all the credit goes to Lokesh Kanagaraj, who came up with this brilliant work. Let's take a sneak peek. The viewers are unwittingly led into what seems to be a seemingly simple plot. There is a huge drug haul confiscated by the police. The drug syndicate tries to recover their bounty, but it is not just the drugs they want back. They also seek revenge and blood of the police involved. How the police save the drugs from falling into the drug syndicate and what of the bad guys is the plot. Sounds simple enough, isn't it? This is where we go wrong. The script writers, Lokesh himself along with Pon Parthiban, introduces small variables to disrupt the normal course of events. At one end, the police officer, played by Naren, ends up engaging a reluctant criminal who is awaiting release after serving a 10-year-long sentence in prison. There is another variable introduced when a bunch of college students along with a police constable get stuck in the police office where the drugs are hidden. With this background, Lokesh goes about triggering a set of events that make progress at a rapid pace. Pause after the first 30 to 40 minutes and one cannot help but wonder at the progress the story has made. This is the kind of movie which you accidentally start watching but end up finishing in one sitting. The series of events are plausible and are almost convincing, unless you sit to watch the movie with the intention of finding holes, which is there in abundance, and we will come to it later on. Given that we are in 2022, we are privy to all the criticism the director faced after the success of Kaithi. The most prominent criticism is about the similarity of the plot with the premises of the 1976 Hollywood movie Assault on Precinct 13. There is an active part of Tamil social media who are extra critical about Lokesh Kanagaraj. I do see the similarities in the plot, but to discard it altogether as a complete copy is stretching it too far. There are inspirations and then there are copies. This is definitely not the latter. There is another section of social media that criticizes and trolls Lokesh for his style of filmmaking. I find that absurd as well. Let's move on. It looks like Lokesh enjoys not just the dark storyline but also the dark setting. The film is almost entirely shot in the night, and it is understandable that Lokesh has teamed up with Sathyan Sooryan for Kaithi, who did an outstanding job in Dhiran Adhikaram Ondru. It is evident that Sathyan has a penchant to shoot in the night setup. I don't recall instances of exceptional brilliance with the camera work, but I can confidently say that the camera work suits the demands of the plot and the director. Sometimes creators indulge in certain liberties and present something that has no relevance to the plot, yet those indulgences result in something engaging and worth remembering. At times it backfires as well. In this case, it has worked wonders to the point it will be remembered as an iconic scene for many years to come. Yes, I am talking about the biryani scene. I definitely love the scene as much as the biryani in my plate. The single biggest contributor to the pace of the movie is editing. As I said earlier, the movie is not free from loopholes and shortcomings. But if we are made to overlook those and stay glued to the edge of the seats, that is due to the exceptional editing work by Philomin Raj. Philomin deserves all accolades for that. There is no wonder why Lokesh teamed up with Philomin for all his movies. And the background score. In Indian cinema, to make a mark as a music composer in movies without songs is a challenge. Sam C.S. has taken up the challenge and has done justice to that. Given the subject, the dark mood demands a certain auditory treatment, and Sam proves his capability. The music plays a big role in bringing out the thrill and goosebumps, but I also found it going a bit overboard at times by being too loud and non-stop. Sometimes silence is way powerful than any music. The star cast. I'll make an audacious statement and risk getting trolled and abused. This is a kind of a movie which makes the choice of actors redundant. You replace any actor with anyone else and the outcome would be the same. Actors need to be wise and grab such opportunities. Karthi definitely has made a wise choice. Naren has done his part brilliantly as well. But like I said, you replace Naren with someone else, the movie would still be the same. Okay, I'll make one exception. George Maryan as the police constable Napoleon. I found his portrayal absolutely brilliant. Firstly, the way the character gets involved in this drama, and secondly, how he played the role. Both are impressive. His unique looks and style makes you chuckle and cheer for him. I am sure he would have drawn whistles in the theater. What doesn't work? Even though I stated earlier about the believability of the plot, the movie has its own quirks and stand out like a sore thumb. The daughter sentiment. I agree it is a vital angle that justifies the reason behind the Kaithi reluctantly taking up the task, but at times it stretches way too long, much to the frustration of the police and the audience. Over the top action. If one man taking over tens of goons at once is the norm, then I speak no further. But no, I can't resist saying this. With such a promising script, the movie would still work wonders even without such masala elements. For the number of times our hero gets stabbed, you could make a sieve out of his hide. But he lives, and how? By firing a Gatling gun and annihilating the bad guys. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved the Gatling gun cameo, and it was a deliberate attempt by the scriptwriters to keep it that way. It is just that our Kaithi is already stabbed to multiple deaths before that bothers me. It is nevertheless a unique visual, and there is no Kaithi poster without this signature visual. This movie is made for goosebumps for a specific target audience and it unabashedly caters to that segment of viewers. I happen to be one of them. Such movies will never rake in the big moolah but will not flop as well. Okay, the end. Wait, did I say the end? I'm sorry, there isn't one. The entire script keeps us in the dark about who is this Kaithi. Is there a connection of this Kaithi with the events? If so, then how? None of these are disclosed. The end is left wide open with a clear indication of a second part. Vikram 2022 is not Kaithi 2 for sure. We need to wait and watch what Lokesh has in store for us. With a cult following, I am sure Kaithi 2 will open with a lot more expectations when it releases, and I am sure it will be a technical marvel. If you like this video, please subscribe and like the video. I'll come back with my review of Vikram. Until then, bye bye.